I, Dr. Shailesh Mehta, dedicated celibate, blessed by Sri Dada Bhagwan, and from Jai Sachidanand Sangh, heartily welcome all the aspirants to this wonderful journey of introduction to Akram Vignan, also known as Vitrag Vignan, which is the holistic science of life and living and integral living. At the outset, I bow to pure self seated within you, which is as pure and as potent as which was manifested in Lord Sri Ram, Lord Sri Mahavir, or Lord Sri Krishna. And when I bow to pure self within you, uh, I feel one with you. So, with the feeling of oneness and utmost humility, let us start this journey of introduction to Akram Vignan. Uh, this will be an overview of Akram Vignan, that is a brief bird's eye view. Akram Vignan, also known as Akram Marg, it is a stepless spiritual path which was opened out by His Holiness Sri Dada Bhagwan, who had enlightenment in 1958. So, this will be a brief overview for the new aspirants. We will uh, have this entire talk into different heads. First will be introduction, its salient features and coordination with the modern science. Second is golden visions for our daily happy, harmonious, interconnected living, which is also known as Vyavhar Vignan. So far, the scriptures have hardly ever described day to day living, but in present times, our day to day living is the most challenging one. And so, here, His Holiness Dada Bhagwan has given us many wonderful visions which first make our daily living happy and harmonious. The third part will be discover the world within, that is our own inner world. The Vedas said Pindeso Brahmande. We have known so many things outside us, but do we really know the world within us? The fourth would be most pertinent question as to who am I? What is my true self or real self? What are its innate characteristics? What is its function or nature? That is to say self-realization, which can lead us to path of liberation. Fifth would be mysteries of human life or secrets. What is in my realm? What is not? Am I independent doer? How things happen? Charge and discharge of karmic bonds and so many things. So ultimately, sixth is it is easy, effective, scientific, and novel path where we'll know what and how we can change and how best to use our relative and real free will. So, science has come from the Latin word scientia, meaning thereby to know as it is. It is about the knowledge. Today, the progress of outer or relative sciences has given us abundance of comforts and luxuries. Sitting here at my home, I can communicate with my friend at the other end of the earth, seeing his face. So, information technology, now the artificial intelligence, quantum physics, nanotechnology, God particles, stem cells, genetics, as if we humans are ready to conquer the universe. But holistic scientist says that the true science is one which can make us happy from all perspectives, within and without, especially from within. So when I look within myself, when I look at the world within me, I do aspire for happy, harmonious, positive, and meaningful living. I want to experience inner freedom, inner liberation amidst all different and even testing situations. I want to know and make best use of my inner potentials. And I want to know and achieve my ultimate purpose, that is to say, the liberation. If I look at the current situation, I would like to remain free of stress, clashes, lack of harmony. In a scriptural terms, scriptures say that every human being has adi, vyadi, and upadhi. Adi are mental disturbances or mental woes and agonies. Vyadi are physical or bodily ailments or sufferings. And upadhi means I am living peacefully, but somebody disturbing me or I am being disturbed from some on account of somebody outside me. So if there are adi, vyadi, and upadhi, there should be something or there should be a science which can keep me in a samadhi, means inner, harmonious, or blissful living amidst all these things. Also, there are many unanswered questions for all of us, like why to me, why so, who is doing this, how it is being governed, gray areas of fate and free will, and many more. So, here the Akram Vignan or Vitrag Vignan, it is not only needed, but it comes to our help by throwing light on all such aspects. So, it is science or knowledge of I with my mind, speech, body, inner and outer happenings, natural laws, and natural regulatory system as a whole. It's a science of Chaitanya, that is known as Atma, versus matter, that is known as the non living or non Atma. It's a knowledge of Purush and Prakriti, relative self, and real self. It throws light on my world within in the form of mind, reflective consciousness known as chitta, intellect, ego, and the science of speech. It throws light on mysteries of life as we are talking karma, karma phal, how the new karmas are being charged, how the charged karmas give us the result or effect, that is to say, cause and effect, prarabdha and purusharth, and much more. Also, it easily leads me to my knowing my true self, who am I, that is to say, self realization. So, it has everything from visions for daily living to ultimate absolute knowledge. And the unique features about this Akram Vignan or the Vitrag Vignan are it is holistic, means all inclusive, all comprehensive. It is for one and all, irrespective of caste, color, creed, faith, nationality, or socioeconomic status. More importantly, does it ask for hard penance or renunciations? No, it doesn't ask for rituals, traditions, hard penance, or external renunciation. Then what does it need? It needs only correct understanding, as we see in anything or any experiment of the science. Incorrect understanding, wrong vision, wrong belief, or not knowing the fundamental truths will lead to confusions, chaos, and all the disturbances. But if I have the correct understanding, right vision, right belief, or the true knowledge of the fundamentals, the desirable result will be achieved effortlessly. So, in a graphics, it shows that there are only two things. One is my own self, and circumstances, inner as well as outer. And there is in between, the most important part is beliefs or vision or understanding. If the belief is incorrect, it will lead to sorrow and sufferings. If the belief is correct or right, it will lead to happiness, inner and outer freedom or liberation. So it is not the circumstances per se, but my vision or belief of looking at them which make me happy or unhappy about the things. Now, before going into the visions of this Akram Vignan or Vitrag Vignan, let us have a look. How does it correlate with the modern science? So, starting with the most important aspect of health, even World Health Organization has given the definition, has recognized that it is not only the physical, that is the bodily health, but it is mental, that is emotional, social, and spiritual health, which makes the complete health. So everybody now knows that body, mind, and soul, all three are interconnected or a one unit, and its health is important. Vedas had talked about five layers. First is the Aharmay Kosh, that is the outer gross body. Pranamay Kosh, that is our breathing and other and subtle energy aspects. Manomay Kosh, related with the mind, and as we said, Antaskaran, that is mind, reflective consciousness, intellect, and ego. Fourth is Anandamay Kosh, that is our true self, pertaining to my pure self. And Vignan, that is the elemental or pure nature of my true self. Now, today it has been well proven by so many scientific researches that the negative attitudes lead to dis-ease. If you put a one space between dis and ease, it is a dis, whatever disturbs my inner harmony or easiness leads to even the physical diseases. And the science knows that today most of the body diseases are psychosomatic, means arising out of my relative inner self or a mind per se. At the other end, the positive attitudes can heal the disease and can lead to happy, harmonious living. We may have heard the word swastha, but we cursorily understand swastha as physically healthy, but no, it has a much more deeper meaning. Swastha means one who knows the swa or the true self and remains seated in the true self is can only remain swastha. A little bit of knowledge about how mind, brain, and body are connected or how the things work, then you can see that our from brain to toe, everything is connected principally by two systems. One is the nervous system, which is the wiring system of sending and receiving the messages. Another is the endocrinal or hormonal system, which works through minute amounts of chemicals working throughout the body. And today, everybody knows that stress is the biggest factor. Who amongst us can say that I'm a stress free? There is a humorous but a real life story that 5,000, almost 5,000 cardiologists had gathered at one big international conference. The chief guest was not a cardiologist, he was a spiritual person. And the lady asked all cardiologists that all of you know that stress leads to so many things. So everybody said, yes, stress is the main factor for high blood pressure, heart diseases, and so on. Then the second question she asked, how many of you are really free of stress? Unfortunately, none of them can raise the hand. So this stress leads to secretion of several things: cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline. It also has adverse effect on immune system. So it adversely affects all of us. Negatives are hatred, revenge, rivalry, criticisms. Positive are helping, loving, caring, or friendliness. And they secrete happy hormones like endorphins, 5-hydroxytryptophan, or serotonin. The three types of body have been described. One is the gross body, which we doctors dissect to the cellular level by the electron microscope, including the genes. There is subtle. Second is the energy body, vitality body, or electrical body, which we measure in terms of electrocardiogram or electromyogram, electroencephalogram. Yogis have described as chakras and energy channels, and the GDV compact and GDV express cameras, they photograph as the aura body. The third is the causal body, which is seen or visualized or realized only by the enlightened ones. Now, and these three bodies, aura or a biomagnetic energy field, also has been described by enlightened ones like Lord Mahavir. And the brief essence is my energy or leshya or aura body will change. There will be different if I'm angry or in a hatred mode, or it will be better if I'm in a helping, loving, or forgiving mode. Disease is also first in the energy or aura body, and then it is in the gross body. The third pathway is the genetic pathway, and the Bruce H. Lipton, he was a cell biologist. He came out with many wonderful researches, and one of his book is Biology of Beliefs, wherein he says that our beliefs will affect all the cells and everything. Change your belief and you can change your life. So nowadays, epigenetics, a branch of genetics, has proven that you can change your genes by changing your beliefs. It is also studied and proven that the telomeres, that the tail of our genes, they are also affected by our inner environment, including the stress. And due to stress, the telomeres get shortened and we have the diseases including heart attack earlier. So autophagy fasting and intermittent fasting, also spirituality merges with the modern science. So there are so many references. Andrew Newberg, he is a neurotheologist in New Jersey, and he studied with SPECT scan and came out that not only do prayer and spiritual practice reduces stress and anxiety, but just 12 minutes of meditation per day may slow down the aging process. Here are some SPECT scan pictures. There are many, many more. Dr. Jem Pawlowski, many years back, he came out with a course in miracles, which was sold in millions in California. He said, change your mind and you can change your life. So there are so many references. So having said that, let's come back to our own talk mainstream, that how this holistic science, Akram Vignan or the Vitrag Vignan, really works. So we perceive, and the inputs go through five senses, and we have the inner machinery, as we already talked about: mind, reflective consciousness, intellect, and ego. And in between is the filter of vision or belief. We perceive, experience, and also react and respond based on our beliefs or our understandings. So if we can change that, everything will change. And when we try to understand how our inner world is effective, let's see how the inner world is working. It has relative inner self, mind, reflective consciousness, intellect, and ego. Now they say we are not only alone, we are under the influence of your beliefs and opinions. So your beliefs, so your opinions, so is the effects, your response and reactions. Now, the beliefs and opinions also say that we are also not standing alone. We are under influence of your intents, your motives, or purpose. If my purpose is to interact or discuss true knowledge without any personal gain, my relative inner self will function differently. But if my intent is to earn as many more money from my patients, my relative inner self will function differently. And the intents and motives also say we are also not standing alone. We are influenced by your inner weaknesses like anger, pride, greed, deceit, attachment, or aversion, which Vedas have termed as Shadaripu and Jainas have termed as six kasais. Now, based on all this inner machinery functioning, our state of being, today the meditation is a very big buzzword in all over the world. But meditation is not only limited to closing eyes and trying to focus. It is a continuous 24 by 7, my inner state of being, which can be Artha Dhyan, self-disturbing, Raudra Dhyan, disturbing to others, Dharma Dhyan, equanimous and harmonious, or Shukla Dhyan means state of pure being. And all these at the anchoring is I and my, we'll discuss later, and where the causes of karmic bonds or conscious and matter are interrelated in interacting with each other, and ultimately who I am or awareness of the pure self. These are the different components of the world within. We'll touch upon them at a later time. Now, coming to actual affecting beneficial visions, that golden visions for happy, harmonious, positive, and meaningful living. Before we detail each, Dada Bhagwan said that it is okay, one may not know Atmagnan or the ultimate knowledge about the pure self, but at least one must know the art and science of daily happy living or a harmonious living. He termed it as Vyavhar Vignan, where we'll look at key to happiness or key to true happiness. World is my own projection or my own echo. Avoid clashes, adjust everywhere. How we can make our own home a heaven on earth, positive vision and self-interest. So coming to daily living or true happiness, most of the times, most of us are trying to seek happiness from outer objects, and it is okay. Even enlightened ones say that you can enjoy whatever is available to you, and that is nothing wrong. But the true happiness, the happiness at the level of heart, doesn't come from that. It leads to competition and comparison. But the true happiness, what is the key to true happiness? So Lord Mahavir said, Yoga Upayoga Paropakara, meaning yoga means my mind, speech, and body. Upayog means my time, my understanding, my intellect, my attitude. Paropkarai, I should use to help or oblige others. Even Vivekanand said that those who live for others really live. But it was not getting functional for me. Why? Because as long as I was feeling that I am so busy, I have too many things for myself to do, and when I have time, I'll do for somebody else. As long as it was other, it was not getting functional. So Dada Bhagwan said very simple thing: open happiness shop. If you have a sweet meat shop, you will never be in a shortage of sweetmeats. You will never have to go out to hunt for the sweets. So what does it mean? How can I open the happiness shop? Who will give me the loan to buy the inventories? And the answer is very simple: our mind, speech, body, our time, our attitude, our understanding, whichever nature has given us is really our asset. We have to just decide that whomsoever I meet from morning to evening, if my mind, speech, and body can offer happiness and help to someone, and rest of the things will be done by nature. So he said that everybody in nature has the obliging nature. Trees live for others, river flows for others. Only the human being should be knowing that this life is to be used to offer happiness and help to others. But real science now comes. I realized that no sooner I decide to help somebody, if the somebody's birthday is coming after 15 days and I decide that I will invite few children and distribute few chocolates, yet I have not spent a rupee or a dollar from my pocket, but from the moment I decide, the happiness starts coming from within me. My face becomes smiling, my selfie becomes good, my aura body becomes positive, my functional MRI pictures become good. Why? Because I realize that whichever action of my mind, speech, or body which are going to offer happiness or help to others do make me happy first. So before helping others, I am being helped myself first. To give happiness to others or to help others is a worldly language. In a nature's language, I become happy first. I am being helped first. So people talk about past karmas and future karmas, but if we look at this understanding and this experience, which can be universal for all of us, it says that effect of karma, mind, speech, or body is right here and now. And the negative is also true. If I decide that I'll scold my staff, I'll fire them, they are enjoying, but there is a fire within me. So each action of my mind, speech, and body before affecting others do affect me first positively or negatively, and that is how the effect of karma is right here and now. So Mahavir said that the world is me only. So this is how the world is me only, because each action before affecting others do affect me first. Why I was not realizing this simple truth so far? Because everybody has taught me to look outside. All universities taught me everything, but none of them taught me or ever make me aware to look within myself. So this science taught me first lesson to learn to look within, and that becomes the uh, beginning of this wonderful journey. So having known this, now I resolve in the morning that let my mind, speech, and body not hurt any living being, even to the slightest extent, and let my mind, speech, and body offer happiness and help to all the living beings. Now, this was about interconnected living or the relative happiness. Happiness are of two kinds, relative and real. No matter in a relative part, I am given by nature the money or the things more than required, very wonderful relations, prestige, name, fame, more than what I have expected. But still, if I look within me, still there is no final, my quench is not thirst. And inside, there is still some unrest. Why? Because the very nature of relative happiness, where the pure self is trying to taste it from outside, it is like the two wires of light which when you touch with each other there will be a spark, and when you put it parallel, there will be a light. So as against that, there should be a real happiness which can quench my thirst, which can give me the permanent sort of bliss, and it should be free of the circumstances. So how can I have the relative happiness or a bliss? It comes after I know what is permanent within me, that is to say, after knowing my true self or after knowing who am I. So world is my own echo or my own projection. Initially, I understood that if I say to somebody that Akshay bhai, you are a good person, Akshay also may echo, Dr. Saab, you are also a nice person. But many people may not reciprocate the same thing, and then I stop doing the thing. But then I realized that even before I say Akshay bhai, you are a good person, if, even before it comes out of my mouth, my face is smiling, I'm feeling happy. Why? Because there is inner echo. So the echo, the things go out and come is outer echo, but before really it happens, there is inner effect or an inner echo which makes me happy or unhappy, and that's very important. So this is how the world is my own echo or my own projection. Now, coming to the visions for the harmonious living. All of us want to have the harmonious life and living, but no matter how hard we try, some events or some circumstances or some situations arise where our harmony is disturbed. So, enlightened Dada Bhagwan saw in his pure knowledge light that today these are the issues. So, he came out with a very simple golden visions. They avoid clashes. Whenever there are clashes inside or outside me with someone or inside me, why to me, and I'm disturbed, it takes toll on my energy. My energy is disturbed, my harmony is disturbed, my mood goes off, I cannot focus at the work. So clashes do drain away all my inner energy. So naturally I should get free of the clashes. So one which alleviates the clashes is only the true understanding. As long as there are clashes, there is no true understanding, there is no God there. Why the clashes happen? Because everyone feels I am right. I feel I am right. The other person feels he or she is right. Okay, it is natural. So long as I feel I am right, it is okay. I can persuade or I can put forward my viewpoint lovingly, caringly, sharingly. But no sooner there is insistence or adamancy, no sooner I catch hold of my viewpoint, the grudges or the clashes start. So Dada Bhagwan says that decide to avoid clash. How can? So no sooner I decide to avoid clash, my inner light will show me the way how to resolve it amicably. And it tells me that as I feel I am right, everyone may be correct by his or her own viewpoints. And to consider others' viewpoints is the foundation of humanity. Now, the second question comes. People ask, should we let go the things to avoid clashes? No, don't learn to let go. Let going is something like pressing a spring, and when it will, sometimes it will rebound and will throw away everything. Learn to resolve it, not to suppress it. And the subtle clashes, this knowledge or this science will help us to get free of the inner subtle clashes. Today we don't have the problem of resources. When I was a child, I remember that I had only two pairs of school uniform to be washed on Saturday and to be worn on Monday. There were problems with the school fees, but today our children and grandchildren have more than required. So then what is the problem? Today the main problem is lack of harmony at my own home, between my family members, at my workplace, at society, or wherever I go. I find it difficult to match or get harmonized with different personalities. So he saw this and he gave the second golden key or master art of adjust everywhere. Now the question is how to adjust. I want to, but I can't. I have a personality which is different. My wife has a different personality. My co-workers have different personalities. Somebody wants to like introverted, somebody is extroverted, somebody likes to speak less, and somebody says, why you are all the time not speaking anything? At least interact lively so the home remains good. So Dada Bhagwan said that go to garden and learn. We have seen farms and we have seen gardens. In a farm, everything is alike. If it is a blueberry farm, for miles together, we'll have blueberry. If it is a mango, for miles together, we'll have mango. But in a garden, there are all different varieties. One is blueberry, one is strawberry, one is mango, one is rose, one is orchid, or one is jasmine. All are different, but each one has its unique fruit or a flower. And in a garden, rose never tells to mango, why don't you have a very beautiful flower like me? Never ever mango tree tells to the rose that why you don't have a beautiful fruit like me. So if we learn from the mango, each human personality or each human being is like a different plant or a tree of a garden having unique positiveness. So we should know what one knows, and we should never complain about the shortcomings or what one doesn't know. And one who learns this master art of adjusting everywhere under all situations with all different personalities at home or at workplace will not only be happy in this world but will sail to the liberation. The third point, our own home. He said that first of all, our own home should become like a heaven on earth. Win your own home, world need not be conquered. Home with good mutual dealings, with love, care, share will be lively, even if it is a small hut. So at a home, naturally, husband wife is the basic unit, how they should live with each other. There is no college really teaching how the husband and wife should be living together whole life. So he said, live as best friends. Best friends describe everything. However, the two I remain separate. And in the present times, as the economic freedom is growing, naturally both I want to remain separate. But as long as one eye is loving, caring, sharing, friendly with the other eye, it's a win-win situation. If one eye tries to win over the other, the show starts. So don't use the word I and you, mine and yours, but use the word and have the attitude that we and ours, and really he or she is me only. Another challenge or test is the parents-children relation. The responsibility of parents is more than a prime minister of a country. And the important part, how should we deal with the children? So many times we get angry, so many times we get frustrated, but he said it is a glass handle with care. The mind of children are like glass handle with care, and children learn what they see. So that is how the character of parents and atmosphere at home is very, very important for the proper upbringing of children. One mother is equivalent to 100 universities. Children seek love. Be friendly with the children at least after their age of 14 and 15. We are the gardener to nourish the different plants or the different trees in the form of children. We are not their owner. So these few things, and explain the things scientifically and honestly and leave them to take the decisions. The word about interconnected living, in the time of Lord Mahavir, he said parasparanu graho jivanam, means we live, grow, and prosper by helping or anugrah with each other. Harvard study, which is considered to be the longest study of the present time, more than 75 years, maybe involving 3 to 4 generations, they found that the people who had good interpersonal relations, helping, loving, caring, sharing, friendly, they lived longer and happily. So the another secret, everyone, why humans, even the dogs and cats, our pet animals, they seek love. And I also like love and friendliness. I try to be friendly with the other people, but as when the reciprocation doesn't come, my heart doors get shut down. But the enlightened one says one more step ahead. They say that when my heart is full of love for all the living beings, irrespective of reciprocation, I will be first beneficiary. I will never feel lonely. And that is how they have unconditional love, not only for human beings, but for all living beings, whether they worship them or whether they are going against them. I mean, everyone is in me. How can I remain positive? Even Albert Einstein was a scientist, but he was a natural scientist. He says there lies opportunity in every difficulty. And Dada Bhagwan said that favorable is food, unfavorable is vitamin. And today we value vitamins like anything. How the unfavorable is vitamin? Because of unfavorable, I will explore my inner understanding, I'll explore my inner energies, I'll get more matured and progress from within. He said, I am obliged by one who criticizes me and I will invite him for a cup of tea first of all. Why? Because whenever somebody is criticizing or sort of condemning me, he gives me opportunity to introspect and improve. He gives his or her energy to me with his own laundry machine, that is the time and energy. He washes my egoism so that my egoism will remain normal, it will not get over inflated. And most important of all, he makes me rid of one karmic bond. So I am thankful to one who is criticizing or condemning me. Once upon a time, he has a fractured leg almost at his age of 76 years, and he was in bed for 2.5 months. We can imagine that if any one of us has something, we will, how much painful we will have all the time. But his face was always smiling. And he used to say that fracture had occurred at that moment. From the next moment, it has started joining, and it is a natural as well as medical truth also. So many things are there. So it is not the circumstances, it is the vision of looking at the circumstances which gives us happiness or unhappiness, which takes us up or down. And this Akram Vignan or Vitrag Vignan gives us the correct visions. It is not a hypothetical, positive vision is not hypothetical. It is knowing the natural truth, natural laws, our life and living and nature, which gives us the correctness of seeing the things which can keep us positive in every situations. And Mahavir also said that see what is left with you and not what is lost. So having said that, how many of us are aware about our own self-interest? I'm not talking about bank interest, self-interest. What is in my interest? What is beneficiary to me and what is in not my interest or what is harming me? If I look from this perspective, dishonesty is the best foolishness. Today, people may not be believing that the honesty is the best policy, but dishonesty is the best foolishness. How? No sooner I try to tell a lie, there is inner clash within me. First of all, my harmony and happiness gets disturbed. I get fearful, and even lie detector machine can pick that up, which has no soul inside it. But it notes that my blood pressure goes up, my respiratory goes rate goes up, my actions become abnormal. So dishonesty is the best foolishness. Before deceiving others, I am deceiving myself. Whether I should see virtues and appreciate somebody, or whether I should find faults and criticize somebody. Whenever I am seeing faults and criticizing, I lose my happiness and harmony. I get my inner self gets clumsy. As against that, whenever I try to see even a small virtue and try to appreciate, I really get the first beneficiary. Same way, to love or to hate, to take revenge or to forgive and get free from everything, to get irritated or remain cool with annoying or non responsive people. Now we come to the third aspect of our talk, which is the discover the world within. As we started, the Vedas say Pindeso Brahmande, means the whole universe is within me. If I know my inner self, microcosm, I may get to the macrocosm also. So, as far as the inner self functioning is concerned, it has four main components: mind, reflective consciousness, intellect, and ego. They work like a parliamentary system, meaning thereby on a Sunday, my mind may show me, let's go to friend's home. Second thought, it will show me, no, 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 let's go to a garden or some natural place. Third thought, it may show me, no, there are so many pending works, let's finish them. So mind shows us different options. Chit Or reflective consciousness takes photography. If I have to travel, it will go to airport also, and it can go to USA also without ticket. And the intellect weighs pros and cons. Now, once the mind plus intellect or reflective consciousness plus intellect takes some decision, Mr. President ego signs it. And once the decision is taken inside, the outer action starts. So the things happen first within and then outside. If nothing is spoilt or shaken inside, nothing will be shaken outside also. There are so many questions about mind. Though many psychologists and psychiatrists are working on it, still there are so many questions. The people say, whenever I try to meditate, whenever I try to do puja, whenever I try to focus on something, my mind wanders or roams. How can I control my mind? Can I? People try to stop or slow down the unwanted thoughts. And people say that if you can steal your mind, if you can make your mind a thoughtless, take your mind into a thoughtless state, it is a state of meditation. But really, does it happen so? I can't do it even for few seconds. So what is really the science? We'll look at that. Gita said that mind is the cause for bondage or liberation. But is really the mind a cause for bondage or liberation? Really, no. We'll look at the answer. So mind is having two parts: gross mind, which is also known as dravyaman or discharge mind, and the second is the subtle mind, bhavman or charge mind. Conscious or subconscious mind, they are all included into the gross mind. Now, how the mind functions. We all have the experience that no matter how hard I try, our mind keeps on showing us the thoughts after thoughts, thoughts after thoughts. So, mind is a physical thing. It keeps us showing pamphlets or thought, not only when we are awake, but also in a sleep. Now, what type of thoughts it does throw at us? It is made of complexes or knots. So, if I have brought the thoughts of business, it will show me the many thoughts of business. If I have not brought any note of business, it will just show me the thoughts of service. Similarly, if I have not brought any note of non-veg food, it will not show me single thought of non-veg, even if somebody is sitting by my side and offering me. If I have brought such type of notes, then it will show me such thoughts. So, trying to control mind, one often fails to stop thoughts. So, how to manage mind? As we saw, mind is a physical, non ending film. So, agree with the thoughts in line with our aim or goal. Whatever thoughts which are going to help me for my aim or my work, I'll say yes. I will allow all other thoughts to pass away. How many cars are passing on the street? I never pay any attention. Only I pay attention when somebody known is going to come. So allow all other thoughts to pass away. Ignore. Unless we sign it, it cannot drag us. If mind is disturbing us a lot of many thoughts and it is disturbing, then I will try to change the track of the mind, engage my mind with something positive, something spiritual, something inspirational or serene. So my energy and my attention will be diverted to something positive and soothing, and the thoughts, time of thoughts will pass away. For bad thoughts, I will resort to confession, apology, resolution, and ask for inner energy. And ultimately, as many people are realizing, body is a theater, mind is a film, and I, as true self, is just the knower and seer or the spectator. So I have to step back and see. So long as I'm standing a little away on the seashore, I enjoy the tides and ebb tides, and I'm never worried. But if I go within the sea, then I'll fear that, oh, I'll be drowned. So step back and see. And once I realize who I am, I really get into my true self, and then I remain as a knower and seer of the mind. Mind becomes object to be known and seen, and I become the knower and seer, which is the ultimate way of the mind control. How mind is born. First time Dada Bhagwan came out with this marvel that opinion is the father of mind and language is the mother of mind. So my whole mind is born out of my various opinions about the people, about the situations, about the trades, and about the customs and whatever. And the causal mind. we talked about the two mind dravya, or the discharge mind, or the gross mind, and the second is the causal mind. That is the new blueprint is being generated as a causal mind or a charge mind. As we'll see, it gets born by projections or the bhav karmas or the bhavas. So really speaking, it is not the mind, but my ignorance about my true self and the ignorance about the mind, that is really my binding. And if I, with the correct knowledge night, I can get free from, not only from mind, but free from everything, leading me to ultimate liberation. The next thing is reflective consciousness, or chitta. Chit or reflective consciousness is Gnan or Darshan, means knowing and seeing put together. And it is really this reflective consciousness which is roaming within and without. As we said, if my tooth is having some pain, it will go there. If my stomach is hurting, it will go there. Or it will go to my friend's home or airport, or even at the other end of the world. It is in search of happiness, and it experiences happiness and unhappiness. So my chit will go wherever it believes happiness is to be. Now, what is the state of our reflective consciousness today? Today, the digital gadgets have caught hold of caught hold so much so on our reflective consciousness, that even while driving or even on a dining table, we are always lost into these digital gadgets. And I'm reminded of Einstein again, that he said that I fear the day when the technology will surpass the human interaction. There will be generation of idiots. I'm not for that, but just to, so everything has to be used in normality. Above normal is also not good, and below normal is also not good. So people say that if you can keep your reflective consciousness or focus in the work you are doing, in itself, it is a meditation. But what really happens? I'm there, I'm trying to study or do some work on computer, and my reflective consciousness has gone to the previous evening's dance party or somewhere else. So eating, the most important thing when we are eating, when we are taking our meals, we should always eat or take our meals in the presence of reflective consciousness. While taking our meals, our reflective consciousness should not go to our office or should not wander outside. If it is happening, so we are inviting the diseases. Yoga really has the one purpose to restrain the wandering reflective consciousness, but can we really do that? So the better answer is to give or to make our reflective consciousness taste superior happiness. It is something like this. If a child has a chocolate, I am asking to give me chocolate, he will not leave it. But if I give him a Kit Kat, he will grab Kit Kat and throw away chocolate. Why? Because he knows that the Kit Kat has a better taste. So if I can make my reflective consciousness taste better happiness, like a spiritual happiness, inspirational happiness, or something, it will come out from the inferior or the lower things and go or attach to the better things or a higher purpose, we can say. And ultimately, the bliss of real self, when I know who am I, when I know my true self, the wandering reflective consciousness on its own without effort starts coming and becoming steady in my real self, because it tastes the happiness which is everlasting, which is a bliss. So that is the ultimate solution for the purification and for steadying the reflective consciousness. The intellect is indirect light coming through the medium of ego. It shows pros and cons, profit and loss in every event or everything. It makes one judgmental and emotional. That is fine. Ultimately, it is a light. It is to be used in our benefit. So, perverted intellect is one which is used wrongly for robbing others, for criticizing others, and it really harms us. Also, righteous intellect is beneficial to others as well as to me also. Ego is the president. But what is ego? I am Shailesh, I am doctor, I am senior ophthalmologist, I am name bearer. Ego starts from there. And second is I am doer of the things. So it is my existential state of being. And Einstein said ego equal to 1 upon knowledge. So lesser the true knowledge I have, more the ego I will have. Here we are referring to which knowledge? Here we are referring to the knowledge of the true self, pure self, and how the things happen in the nature. So that ignorance leads to doership and ownership ego. If I have the true knowledge, my ego automatically will come lower or will get vanished. So enlightened one said that if you want to become happy, use your ego positively to help, love, care, share others. If you want to become unhappy, use your ego negatively to pull legs of somebody, to criticize, to keep create hurdles for somebody. If you want mixed, have mixed use. And if you want to have permanent happiness or bliss, try to have the egoless state, which can be achieved by knowing the true self. So all these humans are nothing but different forms of ego. And in this world, only two things happen: either someone's ego is boosted or it is hurt. And really, no one can be happy by hurting anyone's ego. So, if you want to take best out of any human, take care of the ego in a true sense, and you can have best. Again, the subtle aspect is this ego, I am Shailesh and I am doer, is really the link, a scientifically link, and it is responsible for new karmic bonds also. So beliefs, the life is nothing but bundle of beliefs and psychological and physiological effects arising out of these beliefs. So beliefs are very basic and pivotal in life, as we said before, as we saw before. All perceptions and experiences, behavior and reactions are based on our beliefs. And if we try to examine our own set of beliefs, we have belief for everything: ought to be, not ought to be, good, bad. My parents have believed that my daughter-in-law or son-in-law should be like this, and the life partner has beliefs that my life partner should be like this and that. So these beliefs and ownership beliefs. See, once upon a time, one was on a vacation trip, and a phone call comes that your house is on fire. He started smiling, and the fellow friends were amazed that why he's smiling when he is getting such a phone call. He said, "Oh, I have already sold it 1 month back. It is no more mine." So, no more mine, mine or no more mine has all these effects on us all throughout the life. And ultimate is the belief about my state of being, who am I. Opinions, if we look at our inner world, all our actions or behavior or relations are influenced or driven by opinions. But opinions about, we feel that it is opinions about others. No, really it affects us first. It is our own binding. If at all, if you want to have, try to have positive or good opinions, try to get rid of negative or bad ones. And if you can get the correct or true knowledge, we will become free from all opinions, and that will be the ultimate state. Coming to the fourth component, which is the most important component of this science, is knowing who am I. When I was asked, I said, yes, I am Dr. Shailesh. Then one asked me, is your name Shailesh or you yourself is Shailesh? Then I was baffled. Why? It is one and the same. I am Shailesh and my name is Shailesh. Both are same. No, both cannot be same. When I say my name, when I say my spectacle, the spectacle and the one who is saying is my has to be different. Similarly, I say my bungalow, my wife, my money. So I am different from my bungalow, my wife, my money. I say my mind. I never say I am mind. I say my speech, my body. Then who is that I who is saying is my? I say my feelings and my karmas. Even I say my ego. I never say I am ego. So separate I and my. This part of my, including mind, speech, body, inner and outer happenings, has beginning and end. That means it is having a finite period, or they are known as temporary and ever changing. So one who knows that the part of my is temporary and ever changing has to be permanent and non-changing or constant. So I is permanent and non-changing, whereas the my is temporary and ever changing. Similarly, many times we say I enjoyed or I slept. So when I say I slept, who knew that I slept nicely or I could not sleep? So there is one part who is experiencing and a one subtle part in ourselves who is knowing everything or perceiving everything. Again, I am asked that whether the doer and knower can be one or they has to be separate. We say I did it and we say also I knew it. No, doer and knower has to be separate. So the enlightened ones ultimately says one who knows the knower has known everything, true nature of real self. So try to know the knower and you will know everything. Even Einstein was ultimately asked, Sir, now what do you want to know after knowing all these things? And he had come out with the sentence, I want to know the observer through which I have observed everything. So Dada Bhagwan says the world is the puzzle itself, and there are two viewpoints to solve this puzzle. I am Shailesh is correct by relative viewpoint. I am doctor is correct by relative viewpoint. I am someone's son is correct by relative viewpoint. I am someone's father is correct by relative viewpoint, but not by real viewpoint. As long as I don't know the real viewpoint, it is like a bird flying with a single wing or a plane flying with a single wing. But when I know who am I will have two wings to fly, or I will have two things. A little bit about the science of Chaitanya and matter for those who really want to have the deeper knowledge of how the inner experiment is going on. And it is said that in a science, when the two elements come together, the third extra special properties get generated, either mixture or compound. Here, the Chaitanya having its own existence, having its own innate properties and its own function, as well as the matter having its own properties, its own existence, they too have come together. As they too have come together, the third extra special properties have come up as I am name bearer, I am doer, and anger, greed, pride, and deceit, which are neither the innate properties of pure self, neither the innate properties of matter, but they have come up as the two have come nearer. So the enlightened ones say that none of the properties of the relative self or Prakriti are there in the pure self, and none of the properties of pure self are there in the Prakriti. And the three cardinal properties of the pure self are to know, to see, and a bliss. The enlightened ones know how to separate them so that one can get infinite knowledge power, infinite perception power, infinite bliss, and ultimate freedom. So, this is how neither the existential substance known as the dravya in the scriptural terms, neither the innate properties of each element changes. It is only the phases as they have come nearer that is getting changed, and that is all about this whole universe living beings. Coming to the fifth part, that is secrets of human life or secret of secrets. What is in my realm and what is not? What all can I do independently and what all can I not do? So when the company makes profits, the CEO tells, oh, we did very nice thing, we did managed it very good and this and that. When my surgery gets compliment, I say, oh, I did nice surgery. But when my surgery gets complication, then I see, oh, I tried my best, your body had this problem and your immunity was low and this and that. Or even CEO will say that, no, all of a sudden that tariff policy changed or my colleagues didn't pay attention. So a doctor saves life of so many but can't save life of family members. Then what is really the truth? And who runs the all the body functions even in a sleep, who keeps us our heart beating even for without a pause of a second? So there is a system. And can I say really I did it for each event? So many scientific circumstantial evidences has to come in a perfect sequence or harmony. Even once evidence getting haywire and the things will be different. Ahmedabad Air India plane crash, nobody knew what evidence got wrong and everything got crashed. So, are all these circumstantial evidences in anyone's control? No. There has been nobody, including Lord Krishna or Lord Mahavir, who could claim that all the circumstances are in our independent control or command. So, this science says that it happens, and the happenings are based on the scientific circumstantial evidences. So, we are instrumental doer and not really the independent doers. And having known this science, now I know that an incident has so many causes, but an accident has too many causes. We'll see further how and which energy or which system of the nature is responsible for accumulation and dispersion of this circumstantial evidences in a scientific way in a very short while. Let's also see our whether I am independent about my mind. Am I independent about my speech? Am I independent about my body? People say, okay, partly I'm independent about my mind. And when I look at my mind, if somebody has said me two bad words, my mind will not allow me to sleep whole night. And no matter how hard I try, because the manufacturer has forgotten to give the pause switch or stop switch. So I am not independent about my gross mind. Am I independent about my speech? It appears so, but sometimes I have to regret that no, better I could not have, or I would not have spoken this, or sometimes I decide to speak in a particular manner, but the words do not come out. And if I would have been independent about my body, there would have been no doctors. So the including Gita and including enlightened ones say that there are two parts of life. One is the part of happenings, which depends on gross to subtle circumstantial evidences coming together or getting dispersed in a scientific way, termed as scientific circumstantial evidences. So, including my discharging mind, speech, body, inner and outer happenings, part of happenings is dependent on scientific circumstantial evidences, and because there is dependency, it is known as a fate. Fate here does not convey pre-decided outcome or destined. It only conveys dependency on the circumstances. So the second part, I asked Lord, where is my independence? And the Lord says, you have the independence, but you have not known it so far. While passing through all the inner and outer happenings, inside there is another part where their new bhava bhav, new projections or decisions are getting created, and it does not depend on circumstances. It is independent of circumstances, but it depends on my inner understanding, my inner decision or inner signature. So it is known as relative free will, whereas the real free will starts after knowing who am I. So this bhav or decision or projection, suppose I have inner decision of helping somebody and I sign, okay, I will help that person. So it gets consolidated as bhav. Or I have inner bhav or teaching lesson to somebody and I sign into that, then it becomes my consolidated bhav. So when my I, active I signs it, it becomes a bhav or projection or decision. What happens whenever I sign or I get involved into that bhav, positive or negative? I am attracting atoms and molecules from outside. Outside the atoms or molecules, they are in their pure natural state without any charge. Once they get attracted inside like electromagnetism, they acquire the charge either of helping someone or teaching a lesson or hitting or slapping someone. And with that, the new causal body gets generated inside. The people talk about few terabytes hard drive, but inside the storage capacity is so much so enormous that the pure soul has enormous infinite areas or known as pradeshas, and on each of these infinite areas or pradeshas, with my bhav getting in, I get as I get involved throughout my life, I attract atoms and molecules, and the conglomerates get deposited and stored there, and the causal bodies form. So this is like an individual computer storing the information, which is a new generated atoms and molecules or causal mind inside, and it also gets linked to the cosmic computer-like system outside, like a fed data. And the power charged in presence of pure self is to be discharged by this vast land computerized system, which Dadaji termed as Vyavasthit Shakti, or a natural regulatory system, which includes everything, including my inputs of karmic data, everyone's input of karmic data, along with the natural laws and natural regulatory system. So creation is by we humans, and the disposal is by organized, orderly, natural system termed as the Vyavasthit Shakti. So Dadaji said that beware while creating. Once created and goes to nature, you will not have any independence to control or regulate it. Then it will go to the nature. Humorously, let's see. I had done one vow of having one wife. Somebody says she should be beautiful. Somebody says she should be well educated. Somebody says my father-in-law should be rich. Now I have signed this contract inside. Nobody knows outside. It has gone to nature. Nature says, wait, time is not still right. At appropriate time, nature starts giving me all the circumstantial evidences. And when the result comes, it comes scientifically. So only wife is not given. Even though I had asked only for wife, nature gives scientifically, along with wife, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and all the things associated with it. So I had done one vow of being a doctor. I was not knowing which will be my college, who will be my professors, who will be my friends, who will be my future patients, who will be my future staff. But with one vow, one consistent and constant projection, nature gave me all the scientific circumstantial evidences to fructify that my projection or vow. Our joining today through this digital talk is also the result of something where my vow of sharing something and your vow of knowing something which were in nature, nature is bringing it to result this way. What are the practical applications of this? Does it mean that I should close my eyes and leave it everything to nature, do only vow? No. I have to drive my car with open eyes, with care and caution. That meaning thereby, whatever is the work or the thing at my hand, I should do it to best of my abilities, care, caution, and then leave rest of the things to nature. If a glass has started falling from my hand, I should try to save it till end. After all, if it is saved, then also it is correct. If it is broken, then also it is correct. So decide, remain sincere, work hard, and pray. Why pray? Because pray will alleviate my negative ego and it will open my inner doors for the universal energy to come in to help me and leave rest to nature. Eventuality, ultimate outcome is the sum total of all scientific circumstantial evidences. So once the thing has happened, I have to just know that it is just and correct, or this science gives us one sentence that whatever has happened is just and correct based on our these understandings. Now, another pertinent question: what can we change and how to change it? All preachers, teachers, religious guides, they ask us to do many things like be generous, be kind, and they ask us not to do many things like don't be angry, don't say hurting words to anybody, and so on and so forth. We decide to do like that or behave like that, but more often we do not succeed or we fail. I don't want to be angry, but something happens and I can't control and just becomes angry. I don't want to say hurting words to anyone, but just it happens. So what is the science behind that? Can I readily change my behavior or my personality trait or prakriti? This is where when Lord Arjun was telling Duryodhan that this is dharma and this is adharma, Duryodhan also said, I know what is dharma, but I can't do it, and I know what is adharma, but I can't live it. So, the science, what is the real science here? Can I change my behavior or prakriti? Can I change the fruit or effect? Everybody will say, no, you cannot change fruit, you need to change seeds or causes. So, this is where this science has unraveled a very wonderful truth that my present prakriti or behavior is the result, it is effect or discharge of my previous fed beliefs or decisions or previous bhav karma are now giving me the result in form of uday karma. I may or may not be able to change the effect or fruit, but this science, that is why this science doesn't ask for forcible change of behavior, but this science leads to easy, correct understanding, which will change my inner opinions, my inner decisions, or in other way, the new causes or seeds are laid down, which are the way I want it, and the behavior would automatically result in future. This is the foundation of a whole new scientific, easy and effective path So in summary, this is a unique, easy, effective, and yet revolutionary holistic science or a scientific path. The doors are open to all those who aspire to know the truth and have upliftment or have a better and meaningful, worthwhile living. For that, there are so many contexts and resources to further this journey. There are dedicated celibate Aptaputras or Mahatmas. Mahatmas are not the great people in the worldly language, but those who have known their real self are termed as Mahatmas of Dada Bhagwan, who are blessed with self realization and they are on experiential journey to ultimate bliss or ultimate liberation. This is not a book knowledge. The Vedas at the end says neti neti. After reading and learning and professing four Vedas, it says no neti neti. Then what? Where I will get iti iti? Vedas say the other light, other lamp can be enkindled by a lamp which is having a live flame inside it. So go to a person who is experienced in the all these things, and he will help you understand and experience the things. So these all people are on an experiential journey to ultimate path. There are audio, visuals, and books of Dada Bhagwan's interactive satsang talks. There are wonderful places where just by being there, you will experience a different peace, you will experience a different change inside. That is known as Mahavidya Tirthadam at Kamrej near Surat. It is Dada Bhagwan Samadhi and Trimandir Temple at Kelanpuri, Vadodara, Jai Satchidanand Sangh, India, and Dada Bhagwan Charitable Inc., USA, and many other global centers are functional with only one single motive, which Dada Bhagwan cherished. Dada Bhagwan had only one vision, that let all one and all have peace, happiness, and harmony, and let few of them get the ultimate path of liberation without any expectation, without any reward. He never took or accepted even a single rupee or a single dollar from anyone. And today, this Jai Satchidanand Sangh and all of us are trying to take his vision further, that let this true knowledge reach to every nook and corner of the world. So all of them or all of us or all of one can get happiness, harmony, and true knowledge light without anything in return. And there is a website also you can visit. It is jssvitragvignan.org. This is just a brief introductory outlay of this wonderful Akram Vignan, Vitrag Vignan, which is truly the holistic science of life and living of today. And we welcome you for your more queries and questions, either in personal interactions or through digital platforms. Jai Sachidanand, Namaskar, Pranam to everyone. Thank you. I thank you for being with me for this time through the digital flowers. Thank you very much. Screen share.